really, I work with him several days each month, and I expect him to come because after the days I work with him, I am relaxed with a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I saw in the pictures. I share with him that I learned geometry in the same book you saw in the pictures, and he remembers the book. So we can sometimes remember things that we did in secundaria, high school. But I want to talk a little bit about if he's slow or not. When he is slow, I learn not to say, Fico, come on. Because I know that he's thinking in something so different what I thought we were talking about. Once, when he was in Princeton, I told him the problem: you have 12 points, one weighs more or less, and you have to use a balance 3 times. And it took him several minutes to understand. A year later, he comes with me and tells me, if you have 3 times 2 to the n coins, and so and so and so. So he was not hearing me about 12. He was trying to see an infinite number of problems. Of course, if you divide the 12, that it was one problem, and he spent something like 20 minutes trying to understand. So 20 minutes for an infinite number of problems, that's not slow. That's really fast. So, yes, sometimes Fico spends a little more time than other people to understand the problem. The problem is that he is not understanding the problem that we gave him. He is understanding something different. Normally, very interesting difference. The other thing that when I read something that Montesino, well, of course I have the same feeling that it's very usual that one of us come and say, listen, this is a beautiful theorem, and the other say, that's not a theorem, that's wrong. So I came with Fico, listen this, and he gave me all reasons why it's not a theorem. 2 hours later, he convinced me that we have to change things. But he comes, no, Arturo, you were right. In that moment, we decided I have to fight what was right, because now I was convinced that it was wrong. And normally, we disagree a lot of our work, but I don't mind this disagreement. Normally, he comes and tells me that the main idea of this paper was mine. And I remember something very different. I remember that he gave all the pieces, important pieces, and I contributed with one idea or something like that. So we can disagree with that, and we will never fight about that. But it's really interesting how we complement, because he is very group-oriented. It was obvious from both here. I am more geometrical oriented. And normally we have a problem that has to be worked in both sides. Maybe even the group is what we are trying to work, but we give a geometric approach, and normally it comes something very very interesting results. But I want to talk more is that plenty of collaboration has been because he comes with a problem that needs experimentation. That means a computer program. I should say that I think that most of our papers should have the computer as author, because really it helps a lot. But it's very interesting because Fico is not very computer oriented, at least in the modern times, with C++ and things like that. But of course, it's algorithmic oriented. So it's very interesting to work with Fico, that he wants something to have enough experimentation and to be able to really make a beautiful program, because what I see in other situations, our programs are much better. Not because I know a lot of computer programming, but because we both are more oriented of simplifying things. And I enjoy with Fico a lot because that has been, most of our work has been with the computer. And now I want to see what we are doing in the last years. As you know, he quit chess because they changed the rules. And so it was a good thing for me, because he came one day and told me, now that you know computers, can we calculate this thing for Scrabble? And I said yes. He wanted to do a small thing that it would take us 2-3 days, a week. And that was, I don't know how many years ago, and we keep doing Scrabble. But of course, doing anything with Fico is to take it to a generalization that is beyond what any normal person like me could understand. Where a Scrabble program has so many new things, and that is now really playing very, very well. It has been, in one moment, how many games we play with the champion, Scrabble, World Scrabble champion in Spanish? 9? 10 games. And when it was 10-0, the champion decided that it was not worth keep playing with against our program. And it's not because we want to check this program be the best, that I think that now is the best in the world, because the ideas, the mathematical ideas that I behind it, because it's not to put the computer to really use all the power that can have a computer can have. Is to put all the ideas that Fico has about Scrabble. I have to tell you something. Fico decided that I was the person that knew Scrabble in the whole world. I am the person that knows more about Scrabble among the person that has never played a game of Scrabble. So that talks also about Fico. He could teach me Scrabble without me playing Scrabble. Of course, that means that he can explain the different parts of Scrabble, why we should look for this expected value, how to calculate these other values, how else we need to have in the Scrabble. And of course, Fico tells me, it's amazing how Arturo understands Scrabble if he has never played. Well, what is amazing is how Fico can teach me about Scrabble without me playing. And of course, at the end, what is there is a mathematical generalization that is really interesting, that nobody else could, that I know, could thought about it in a simple way, because those generalizations are not normally are because are very, very simple tricks, very, very simple concepts that match with everything else that we are doing. And so what I want to tell you is really try to work with Fico. It's really a joy to be able to talk with him. Sometimes even we talk about mathematics, because normally when he comes to Guanajuato, we talk about everything else that was not necessarily mathematics, or at least not the mathematics that we are doing. He brings something that we learned for his course in topology, and we talk about it because they are nice, not because we need it. It's a relations of talking about what we like. And normally with Fico, it could start in a way that the person that he doesn't know him would say, well, but that's trivial, why he has to spend so many minutes with these trivial things. I learned many, many years ago that I should not think about that. If I wait enough, something very interesting, very general, very enjoyable, and I learn a lot. So this is my relation with Fico for 49 years, and I enjoy it every moment. Thank you, Fico.